From BC Shaver and Hobbies on Fort Street in Victoria, you're watching Go on ShawTV. On today's show, you've heard of the term show some mercy, but a huge event coming up in August will row some mercy. We'll find out how a local woman is turning her float home into a business venture, and our virgin gardener Dan Kahn gives us a lesson on pest control. Get ready to go. Well, it's about time we had some fun on Go Island, and today we're at BC Shaver and Hobbies on Fort Street in Victoria, and it's a family business owned by Garnet Rancier. When did you guys open?
The store started in 1952. Our family bought the store in 1962. And then, or that was my dad and my mom, and then my wife and I bought it from my parents in about 1982.
And you've also got your son Keenan, who's sort of in the background right now.
Yeah, he's working here part-time. Our daughters have all done it, and it's they all enjoy it a lot. It's kind of fun.
Now, did it start as a like exclusively a shaving store?
It did. In 1952, there was our family is actually the fourth owner of the shop. So in the beginning years, it transferred around quite a bit, and it started as a shaver shop. We've actually got a picture someplace from 1952 of the guys standing in their white coats and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty neat. The story goes is one of the owners at that time, his son got into trouble and had to pay restitution for what he did that was wrong. So his dad made him sell his Lionel train set that he got for Christmas. So he took the train set, he put it in the window, and it started to get some interest in trains, and the train set sold. But from that, he started ordering in Lionel trains, and then that's how the hobbies grew from the shaver part of it all.
Right, so you know, getting in trouble can sometimes be a blessing.
I'd like to thank the guy if I could ever meet him.
Nice. Now, you've expanded the store over the years, and there's a lot of hobbyists in Victoria. What are people doing these days?
Well, shavers is the foundation to our business. We sell and fix a ton of shavers, and we've got all the parts for them, and we've got the knowledge that helps us to satisfy the customers that they can get all their stuff here for that. The models is huge. We've got over 20,000 different model kits of everything from cars, planes, boats, the wooden ships, all that kind of stuff. But lately it's been the radio control cars, the radio control planes, and the helicopters and the drones. The drones have been really popular lately. We sell a ton of them. They go from small sizes, just over the size of a matchbook, up to the big ones. They've got cameras in them. They've got first-person view now in them. They're great. They're a lot of fun. They're a blast.
And the beauty is, I think you can actually paint your own drone. That's how deep in you can get to this stuff. Well, there's always a lot of activity in Victoria's inner harbour, and coming up in August, perhaps the most high-profile racing events taking place to do with rowing. Now, Daphne Good brings us the story, and she tells us that there's going to be celebrities, star athletes, and even an Olympic athlete. Here's the story. Thanks for that story, Daphne. Well, we're going from rowing boats to speed boats and radio-controlled cars and planes. This is Al Petrie, who's a hobby expert here at BC Shaver and Hobbies on Fort Street, Victoria. What do we have here?
What we've got here is what's called a crawler radio control vehicle. Allows you to drive around slowly and carefully over various things, and so you can take it out on really rocky surfaces. You can go crawling up on Mount Doug and various places around. Nice, really good traction tires on the thing, really mobile, basically ready to run out of the box, and you know, you can go off and have some fun, take it out when you go camping and drive around the campsite.
This is like, for a kid, this is their first car, right? So for a lot of kids, they get really excited about it. I mean, look at all the detail inside there.
It's kind of like taking the dog out for a walk, except in this case, you've got a remote control for a leash instead of a lead.
Earlier on the show, I mentioned that people paint their own drones. They paint their own cars, right?
Yeah, this comes like that out of the box, but you can get different shells for it. They're clear, and then you can paint them. You paint them on the inside so it stays nice and shiny looking on the outside. So you can have a complete custom paint job that reflects you and you know, what you want your little vehicle to look like.
I would just put mirror on there so it really does reflect me. In terms of price point, what is it to get into one of these entry level?
You're looking around $380 and up to get into something like this. There are some very small ones available for, you know, in the $150 to $200 range, and those are good ones for the kids to get started off with. And this is, you know, a kid can start off with this one as well. And the great thing about hobbies is kids can be any age, so you can be 8 years old or you can be 80 years old.
Now boats. So, you know, up to Elk Lake or whatever, is that the ideal location for this?
They're great for freshwater lakes. They're not good for saltwater, so saltwater and electronics are never a good combination, but freshwater is great. You can take it out, and you know, this time of year when it's really hot, this is a really great activity because you can go out, you can stay cool, and you can chase that around the lake and have all sorts of fun with it. And they come in various sizes. This is one of the smaller ones, and they make much bigger ones. They make high-speed boats.
Dude! Whoa! Meow!
Tugboats if you're interested in just having it going around nice and slow.
This looks like it could rip.
Yeah, that's definitely, you know, you're chasing ducks around with that, and you know.
What about this one?
That's what's called the Champ. That's a small little radio control plane. That's a good starter plane for the young guys to get into.
So light.
Very lightweight. It's a light plane. And you can take that out to your local little park or soccer field and fly that around. They're easy to fly. It's a nice stable little plane. It's an inexpensive way to get started, and all the parts are replaceable. So if you have a bad crash or a seagull attacks it, you can replace the wing or the tail.
Oh, so seagulls attack him?
Not often. Not often. But you know, you never know, right? You know, it's a cranky day for a seagull, so he can do all sorts of things.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't fly it close to the highway either. You don't have to have any permits to fly a little plane like this?
There's restrictions on how close you can fly to the airport. We've got the information in here if you need to come in and check that sort of thing. But generally when you're dealing with these sort of things, never get really far away from you or that high. The bigger aircraft are more of a concern for that. But definitely something that you can take to the local school ground and fly around there.
Well, with all these gadgets and gizmos and technology, it's easy for us now to work from home. And Lisa Pismeni now has a story of a woman who's turning a float home into a welcoming business. Coming up, motorcycling with Mademoiselles. We'll rev up on a feature story from an upcoming access show on ShawTV. Hold on tight.
I fly electrics, and I fly gas-powered, and I fly methanol-powered, relatively large radio-controlled aircraft, okay? Like 70-inch wingspans, that sort of thing.
How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing it for a very long time, about 20 years, but it goes all the way back to childhood. Okay, I started building models when I was 8 or 9. I used to do this in California, and my dad and I did it together, and so that was probably part of it, being able to do it with him.
Now, one way for people to get involved in this is an upcoming air show?
Yes, our largest little air show, which will be August 8th, 9th, 10th, and at Mitchell Airfield. And donations are how people come in, and over the last, 10 years, we've donated $130,000 to Santa's Anonymous and to the Saanich Peninsula Hospital. Now,
for people who don't know where Mitchell Airfield is, that's Mitchell's farm off the Pat Bay Highway.
That's correct. That's correct. And we're down the Lochside Trail, just between Martindale and the one going out to the beach. Oh, Lord.
Island View.
Yeah, Island View Beach. There you are. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just look for the planes up in the sky and you'll find them.
That's right. That's absolutely correct.
If it's motorcycles you like, well, I hear there's a new access show coming to ShawTV next month called Farkle Garage. It's a motorcycle magazine show that rumbles with two-wheeled excitement. And we've got our host, Dar Duncan, who's about to show you a feature from that show, and she's got one mama of a story. A quick break, but coming up, what's bugging Dan Kahn in the garden? Well, you're about to find out how the Virgin Gardener puts the lid on pests. Well done, Dan, proving that gardening is a good hobby as well. Have you done much gardening?
My wife has a very extensive garden, and I am her official assistant.
So you do like plant bulbs and
Put
grow.
plants in, water them, weed them, do all the standard gardening stuff.
So he ain't no Virgin Gardener. But let's close off the show with kites, right? We've got some small kites and big kites. Kites are huge down at the breakwater too, right? Down
Absolutely. It's a
Clover Point.
Clover Point's a great place for just even if you want to just go watch people fly kites. It's a fantastic place. It's a great place to fly because there's lots of wind, lots of open space. These are what's called a sport kite. It's a two-handled kite. It's very maneuverable, and they come in various sizes. So there's basically a kite for whatever size of person you are and however active you want to be with the kite. And then there's the little pocket kites. These things come in a neat little plastic little cup, and you can basically take that around to pretty well anywhere you want. So that's a good little kite to get started off, and that's basically, it's like a little sail that inflates itself, so there's nothing to break on it, so it stores up nice and neat, and when you want to go flying, there you go, there's your kite already again.
Well, we'd like to thank the folks down here at BC Shaver Hobbies at 742 Fort Street in Victoria. Still lots of summer left for you to maybe take on a new hobby. I'm James Green, and thanks for watching Go Island. We'll see you next time.
Women's clothing provided by Tulip Noir, casual designer fashions. Men's wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.